Hello and welcome back to another episode of Math with Dr. War. In today's video, we're going to be looking at graphs of linear functions or a linear equations. Now, on the test, they may give you a graph and ask you to choose the correct equation, or if they don't use the word equation, they may say the correct function. So in the first problem, it says the graph of a linear function is shown on the grid. So this is our graph right here. And they're asking which function is best represented by this graph. Now, these are your functions, but even though it's a function, it's still written as the equation of a line. And the equation of a line is in the form y equals to mx plus b. Now, the b represents your y-intercept, and that's where your line crosses the y-axis, and the m is your slope. So to identify which of these is the function, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify my y-intercept. My line is crossing the y-intercept at 4. So with that information, I'm going to eliminate g because their y-intercept is negative 2/3. And I'm also going to eliminate h because their y-intercept is 6. Our y-intercept is 4, and it's a positive 4. Now, my answer is either f or j. But when you look at the slopes for f has a positive slope, and j has a negative slope. Now, you can look at your line to identify whether it has a positive slope or a negative slope by looking to see, going from left to right, if your line is going downhill or uphill. And the way to do that is, again, I think of myself as this stick figure right here. So going from left to right, it looks like I'm going downhill. So my graph is a negative slope. So with that information, the answer is J. If you really want to prove that your slope is negative 2/3, we can do that. I'm going to keep my y-intercept here, and then I'm going to find another good point, which is here, which is this 6. And I'm going to draw a triangle. So I'm going to try my best to draw a nice triangle connecting the 2 points. Remember, your slope is rise over run. So notice I'm rising 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So that's a positive 4. And then I'm going to run, and I'm running to the left. I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because I'm going to the left, that's negative 6. So my answer is a negative. Remember, with fractions, we must reduce them to lowest terms. Both of these are even numbers. So when you divide by 2, you're going to get 2/3. So there's my slope of negative 2/3. But I didn't need to find a slope. By just looking at my line to see if I had a positive slope or a negative slope, I was able to identify my answer. In this question, it says, which equation best represents the relationship between x and y in the graph? So notice here, they didn't say the word function. They're using the word equation. And notice here, they have y equals, and you have your equation. So just as before, remember, we look for our y-intercept. So our y-intercept is a +3. This has a -2. Let's eliminate. +3, that's good. +3, maybe that's my answer. This has 3/2. So no for J. My answer is either G or H. Now I'm going to look at my line to see whether I have a positive slope or a negative slope. Now, if I go from left to right, this line is going downhill. So this is a negative slope. So when you see me write like a subtraction sign in VE, that means negative. When you look at G and H, they both have negative slopes. So you're like, oh my gosh. So here you actually have to find a slope. So to find a slope, I'm going to keep that 3, and let's find another good point. Another good point would be right here, So again, I'm going to make my triangles. So let's see, let's go here and come down here. So we're making a triangle with our 2 points. Remember, slope is rise over run. I'm rising 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm rising 6. And I'm running. Remember, I'm running to the left. So I'm going 1, 2, 3. So that's a -3. Okay, these are nice numbers. So 6 divided by -3 is -2. So my slope is -2, and that will have an x next to it. And who has a -2x? Yes. So my answer is H. If you like the content, please subscribe, hit that notification button. If you know someone who is trying to pass the TAS Math test, please share the channel, comment, make suggestions, and have a great day. And also, good luck on your TAS test.